If you have ever had questions or wanted to have your voice heard regarding how trash is picked up here in the city of Grand Rapids, well, tonight is actually your chance over at the Gerald R. Ford Academic Center on Madison Avenue. Here in Grand Rapids, the city is hosting Trash Talk. It's your chance, and really residents all across the city's chance, to have their voices heard in the next steps as far as trash pickup, recycling, composting efforts in the city. All of that will be discussed, again, happening later tonight, and we actually spoke to members of the city putting on Trash Talk to see what exactly to expect and also how the community can get involved. Andrea, thank you so much for stopping by today. We are so looking forward to talking about a new chance for residents here in the city of Grand Rapids to have their voices heard this coming Tuesday. It is going to be their chance to really speak to sort of how trash pickups, recycling, really everything to do with trash is sort of handled in the city. And that's all taking place again at Tuesday. We're going to get into that conversation now with Andrea. Let's talk about this meeting in general, though. What will be discussed? What is sort of the overall goal behind having something like this?
Sure. So our engagement session before the commission meeting is called Trash Talk, and we are going to have staff from Public Works and Environmental Services, as well as sustainability, and we're going to have some partners like Kent County and Home Repair Services there. And the goal of the meeting is to inform residents about all the different resources and information about refuse management or materials management, as well as to share some projects that are being developed, especially by Public Works, and to get their feedback and their perceptions and experiences on these services. So that way, not only can we improve, but we can plan better as well.
Mhm. And let's talk about trash, though, specifically. I mean, why trash? It may seem like an easy question, but I mean, there's a lot to why this was the topic chosen for this event.
Right. I mean, I'm always amazed and delighted by how we all take our refuse and materials management seriously. This is a serious topic. It impacts us every day. And there's two reasons. One, it's connected to our health and our environment. It's how we see the cleanliness of our city and also how we think about the cleanliness of our neighborhoods. And also, Public Works is planning on changing possibly some of their services, and they really want to get input from community. So specifically on the proposed single hauler program, as well as they're really interested in making yard waste services more accessible and removing barriers. And they really want to hear from community on how to do that the best way.
Mhm. And obviously, this conversation is with members of the community and members of the city. There's going to be a lot of talk back and forth. Really, like you touched on, you want to hear from the community members and find out what might work best for them. What are some of those questions that I guess the city is looking for answers from the residents that do show up to this meeting? What are some of the things that you hope are discussed and some of the input you hope that residents provide?
Yeah, absolutely. So when residents come into, it's going to be at Gerald R. Ford Academic Center. It's going to be in the gym. So when they enter into the gym, it's going to be almost like a job fair or a science fair setup. There'll be resource tables, but then there's going to be a lot of easels with posters on there. And with the single hauler program, there's a few things that we're going to share. We're going to share and ask specifically from residents what are their experiences as customers who receive refuse collection from us? We want to understand their experiences around customer service, as well as just so we can get that information on how to enhance our customer service. We want to do better, um, especially if we do plan to become the single hauler. We also want to understand what are some of the reasons or barriers for why residents who may be hesitant to, choose the city as their vendor. What are those reasons? That will give us information on our operations, our services, as well as our customer service. For
Mhm.
yard waste, we have a lot of different pricing models, and I've learned a lot from Public Works about this as well. And so, some of the things that we want to learn from residents is what is better, a cart, a bag, and a tag. What will make things more, like I had said before, accessible. We want to make sure that people are collecting yard waste and disposing of it properly for health and environmental factors. And so, again, understanding their experiences and perceptions. And so, lastly, one of the cool things that, well, I think all of this is cool, but one of the cool things that we're also doing is an internal food scrap pilot. And so, by that, I mean, we actually have Public Works and other city staff working together to encourage staff to compost our lunch, our dinner, our breakfast on site. And so the plan is that by 2026, we're hoping to have some neighborhood containers um, where if people are walking and they're having, some fruit, they can compost it instead of throw it away or at a festival, things like that. And so that's a longer term initiative, but we want to get input from community now on where would the best locations for those containers be to again help our planning. So I guess to summarize, what we really are looking for is to involve residents to guide our operations and our services to make things more meaningful and useful for those who live here.
So I guess the goal really is to not only get those initial ideas sort of in the can in the city, but then also use this information for further plans. Like you mentioned, the composting thing may not happen in the next couple of months, but soon the input that is happening at this meeting will go into where these bins are going to be, how you guys are utilizing them, and all sorts of other future projects as well. I mean, this is really tenfold kind of.
Yes, exactly. And this is something for me in my role as the community engagement manager is to really empower and affirm city staff on their instincts of involving community and helping create pathways and options to how to bring community in from the very beginning and to get feedback and input when we can use that feedback and input in meaningful and relevant ways.
Well, if having your input heard and also helping out the city with all of their plans isn't enough motivation to go to this meeting, there will also be some other goodies that folks that show up will also have the chance to enjoy. I know you guys are planning on providing some food as well, but of course, some other initiatives and treats that residents can also take part in.
Yeah, I'd love to talk more about that. So Eastern Deli will be there. And so we always provide free dinner. So if you would like to get a hamburger or a gyro or some really great sandwiches, please stop by. Other things is that we're going to have some kid-friendly activities there. So we'll have city staff available and you can actually have your children learn how to do things like decorate and build a sharp disposable container or they can just decorate stickers and hats like the cute little waste baskets that you see Public Works handing out. And with the Sharps disposable container, I just learned this myself is that when we throw away pointy things, it does possibly negatively impact our haulers. And so giving our young people an opportunity to figure out how to contribute and learn from this event is also one of our goals. And then also, we're going to have the folks from the Third Ward Equity Cultural Tour there as well. And so, if people want to stop by, meet them, learn about their plans, as well as provide possible names or places that should go on the tour, that's a great opportunity to do so. Our planning department will be there to do some preliminary engagement on all the upcoming zoning ordinances, and economic development will be there as well to talk about the Grand Rapids Land Bank Authority as well as the Emerging Developers Program. So, in terms of goodies and other kinds of services, we're really trying to make this a complete experience around, recycling, reusing, and really thinking intentionally about materials management. So Goodwill will have a trailer there. So if you want to clean out your closets before school starts and you have clothes that your kiddos no longer fit in, like mine do, you can drop clothes off. We'll also have a couple row pack containers there. And so if you want to put like unused laptops, devices, cords, computers, that can go in there and be safely disposed of for free. And then our giveaways this time around will be, completed around 6:45 p.m. So you got to stay for the whole event. And those will be some free trash services, as well as a yard waste cart where we're going to waive the fee. And then I also have some great rentals that the Parks and Rec department have provided. So if you want to rent a pavilion for an upcoming cookout or barbecue, that will be an opportunity as well. And Friends of Grand Rapids Parks has donated some swag. And I might have some custom 175th apparel for lucky winners as well.
Yeah, no, too many reasons not to show
So
up
many,
there. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. It's gonna be an awesome time. Again, not only is there lots of fun to be had and really community bonding, but again, helping out the city, make these plans, really have your voice heard. Adriana or Andrea, before we let you go, though, I do have one last question for you. Really want you to kind of have the final word here, and that really is, what would make this event beyond successful, beyond your wildest dreams? What would make this? What would have to happen for you to say, wow, we really made a difference. We really got to where we wanted to go and maybe even got past that?
Yeah, thank you. So I would love to see as many residents as possible come out, interact with staff, meet their elected and appointed officials, talk with and learn about these programs. And then also, you had just shared it, the community bonding is essential. One of the reasons why we do this event in community 3 times a year is that we want to create a space where our neighbors and our staff and our elected officials can come together and, maintain our community relationships. And so seeing people laugh and have fun, get resources, provide feedback, at the end of the day, that is what, keeps me wanting to do this job and makes me so delighted to serve you all.
All right, awesome stuff. Well, Andrea, thank you so much for stopping by today. We really do appreciate it.